What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is the video that a lot of you guys have been DMing me and asking me about. Eddie, I want to get involved in the desert. What do I need? You know, what startup cost do I need? What do I need to buy? What's priority? Well, first thing you got to think about is you have something to ride out there. Whether you want to ride a Razor 170, whether you want to ride an CRF 50, CRF 450, Can-Am, 1000 Razor, what is it? Once you figure out what you want to ride out there, then you got to figure out, number one, how are you going to tow it? Now, this is why it gets pretty pricey. So if you do want a Polaris, as you guys know, these Polarises are going for anywhere between 25 to 30 grand new. You can find some used ones out there for anywhere between 10, 12, 15 grand. You know, I have not found a lot of used Can-Ams out there, but I'm sure they're probably going around the same thing, maybe an older one, maybe for 15, 18, 20. You don't have to buy brand new. If you guys, you know, want to save money, go buy used, because when it's used, you can get a lot of upgrades. It'll already have cage, doors, everything on it, you know, everything that the old owner or the first owner already bought on there that you're not going to have to buy. You know, some of these Razors out there, I mean, look at Candy for an example. If Candy's was not blown up, he'd probably be able to only get 25 for the car. And I think he bought the car for 20 and dumped probably 15 into it. So I would try to, if you guys are looking for a side-by-side, try to find one on Craigslist or OfferUp or Race Desert and see if you can get one already done up and ready for you. You'll save a lot of money. Now, how are you gonna tow it? And where are you gonna sleep? Do you want to, you know, are you gonna, like what I used to do when I used to go to the desert? I used to have a truck, 2001 Duramax. I used to put my, I think it was, what I have, a 125 two-stroke, a YZ 125 two-stroke. I used to put in the back of the Duramax, and I used to just sleep in the back of the Duramax. That's how I started. Then I had the truck. I bought, did I have, actually I did. I had my Razor. I bought a 900 Polaris. And then my uncle bought an 800. This was how I kind of got into side-by-side, if you guys are wondering. So I used to ride dirt bikes out there, out in the desert for a very, very long time. I rode my 125 two-stroke out there. Then I rode my 250 two-stroke, and then my 250 four-stroke and 450 four-stroke out in the desert. And then my uncle decided to buy a Razor 800. And I was like, man, this thing just looks weird. You know, who would want to ride this out in the desert? Slow, no power. Well, I got in the 800, and I don't know how or why, but I fell in love with it. And it wasn't fast. I think it was just how easy, I guess it was to drive maybe, and how fun it was. I think I was like, I pretended I was in a go-kart. Well, ever since then, I was really getting into side-by-sides. And I think once the 900s got released, this was when like Polaris and side-by-sides really blew up, when we started seeing them out in the desert. There used to be the Rhinos. You know, Rhinos used to be the hot thing. Well, now, I mean, as you guys see, you know, the ones that are watching this video that go to the desert, you see how many, you know, side-by-sides there are compared to buggies. And you're probably telling me, well, Eddie, why don't you build a buggy? You know, I love buggies. I probably will, but the thing about a buggy is I just like, you know, not having to worry. So these Can-Ams, that's it. You start it, you go, you're done. You're not worrying about breaking stuff. With these buggies, you know, something's always going to break. And I mean, I'm not saying they're bad luck, but I like the side-by-sides because of how easy they are and how, you know, there's really no maintenance. I mean, oil change, you know, change the air filter, check the belt, check, you know, just look over the car. It's very, very simple. But like I was saying before, so when they released that 900, that's when I'm like, all right, man, look at this thing. It was bigger, and it was, and actually I still have, well, I don't, but I know somebody that still has my 900, and it still runs right now till this day. They might come to the desert with us. I'll show you guys my old 900 that I used to have. But I got the 900 and just fell in love with it. So then that's when I'm like, okay, now I have to buy something to put this in. So I have an enclosed. I bought an enclosed trailer. I want to say it was 20 feet long, and I used to sleep in the enclosed. I used to put an air mattress down. Okay. And I used to put an air mattress down with a little table and a TV. Didn't have no bathroom, no shower, nothing like that. I used to sleep in there. And how, you guys are wondering how I would get power to the TV and everything. Oh, mind yourself, I had DirecTV, satellite, I had everything. It was badass. It was just, when it got cold, it got freaking cold in there. So I ended up buying a heated blanket. First I bought a heater, that didn't work. Then I bought a heated blanket. That helped, but it didn't really work. So now you're wondering power-wise, how did I get power? Because, well, obviously there was no generator. So how I got power to the DirecTV and TV right here was this bad boy right here. Thank you, Mr. Alcalator, by the way, for stocking me up. But this Honda, and mind yourself, this is still the same Honda that I had when I had my enclosed and old Duramax. This Honda 2000, guys, right here is honestly probably the best investment that I have ever purchased for the desert. Then they're not that bad. I think I bought this brand new for $1,000. I think they're still going for $1,000, but you can get them on, I've seen them on Craigslist. I've seen them on OfferUp, you know, for $700-800, you know, slightly used. This thing is so damn old. I don't even know how many hours this thing has on it. And all I have ever done to this thing was oil change and spark plug. And that's it. And it still runs amazing, starts right up. I got no issues with it. This thing actually runs my entire toy hauler. It will not run the AC in the toy hauler, but it will run the whole toy hauler. Runs all the lights, all the TVs, you know, chargers, the refrigerator. I mean, it runs everything in there. And this is the main thing that you guys should purchase, especially if you think about going to the desert, because these toy haulers, they have, you know, the big, like mine's got a big Onan 5500 in it. There's really no point of turning on that loud thing, and especially because it is like almost right under my damn bed. Like Weekend Warrior and a lot of these toy hauler companies did a horrible design on placing the generators. The big generators they put on these Weekend Warriors and on other toy hauler companies is literally right up front, right where your master suite is, right where you are sleeping. And when you start the big one up, it shakes, it's loud, it vibrates. It's the dumbest design they've ever did on these toy haulers. That Honda 2000, I plugged that thing in, you don't hear it. It runs everything. Like I said, the only thing it will not run is the air conditioning, but it'll run everything that you need in that toy hauler. I mean, it runs the microwave, it runs blow dryers, it runs it all. That's the main thing that you guys should invest in. That 2000 is what powered up, you know, my enclosed trailer when I had my DirecTV and TV. And I think I filled that thing up at midnight, and it will last me, I think it would shut off by like 10 o'clock. It would go all night and past. From midnight to like 10, 11 o'clock, it would stay running. So now we're back to, well, what do you want to buy, an enclosed or a toy hauler? You know, I bought a toy hauler when I can afford it, but I used to I slept in that enclosed for quite a while. I think I slept in that enclosed for, I want to say 4 years, I believe, until I can afford to buy a toy hauler, maybe more. And that toy hauler I bought used. I don't even remember what I paid. I want to say it was probably in the 16 or 17,000 range, somewhere in between there, that I paid for the toy hauler. But now that you guys have to think about, okay, you got a toy hauler, now you're gonna need a truck. So now that's when it starts getting expensive. If you want to get a, you know, truck like this, if you want to get a used one like this, these diesels really hold their value. I'm actually looking for a diesel for my friend, and he's looking for like an older 08. You know, he said he doesn't even care if it's got 100,000 miles, and they're still pulling about 20 grand. So you got to think about it. You're gonna buy, you know, a used diesel, say for 20 grand. You're gonna buy a, you know, Weekend Warrior. Say you don't need a, you know, big 34 footer like mine. You're gonna get a small 25 footer. Say 15 grand. So you got 20 for the truck, you got your 15 for the Weekend Warrior. Now you want a side-by-side. Well, say you found a used one, you can go another 15, 20 there. So, I mean, say you're in like the $50,000, $60,000 range already. You know, and that's, like I said, going, you know, with you can get a decent side-by-side for 20 grand. Even a cheap setup. Say, you know, you're gonna go older, a 2002 truck. 2002 Duramax, you know, you're still in it. If you want a side-by-side Weekend Warrior, you're still in it probably 30, 40 grand. And that's just to get you out there, you know, to have you somewhere to sleep with a heater, shower, stuff like that. Then let's tack on some fuel you're gonna need. You know, my truck holds 36 gallons plus my 60-gallon tank in the back. Do I use all 100 gallons? No, I don't. I can go to the desert and back on one tank, towing my Weekend Warrior. Now, when I get back to my house, yes, I'm very low. It needs fuel. But I can go there and back on one tank. but it still cost me, you know, a little over $100 to fill up the 36-gallon tank in the truck, because here California, our gas is about where I live. I want to say it was $4.20, I believe it was, the last time I filled up my gas station for the diesel. Now you got to talk about fuel for your Can-Am or Razor, whatever those things. Those things suck a lot of fuel. You're going to have to bring a minimum, I would say, depending on how much you want to ride, 15, 20 gallons of gas. So now, you know, you're talking, depending if gas is $4 a gallon. So now, tack on an extra $100 for, you know, fuel in your Can-Am or Polaris, whatever, you know, you purchase. Then, you gotta eat. You know, I mean, you guys see my videos, we gotta eat. We like to eat. I mean, depending on what you eat, if you're gonna have like a burger and a hot dog, okay, not too bad. But if you guys, you know, eat like us, I mean, if you guys seen how we eat, well, tack on an extra probably, you know, $400 or $500. Because we have, you know, like you guys have seen, we probably got 30, 40 people in our camp. But the food, you can kind of, you know, like I said, if it's just you and a couple friends, you can get away with some dogs and burgers, depending on what you guys, you know, enjoy out there for food-wise. Then you got fuel for your generator. Again, this is why I like to run my little Honda 2000, because that Honda 2000 that I have will run all weekend, and it will cost me probably, I would say 5 gallons of fuel, maybe 6 gallons of fuel. My big generator, if I run my big generator all weekend, that thing will literally die. It would be empty. And that thing takes, I think I don't remember. I don't know if it's 20 or 30 gallons, that generator, but it will literally suck the fuel, go from full to empty in one weekend, no problem. And I leave my Honda 2000 on all weekend. And if you guys are wondering why, well, because number one, it hardly takes any fuel, keeps my batteries fully charged, and I got a lot of stuff charging in there for my drone, my cell phone, my GoPros, everything. So I don't want to have to worry about not having power. Yes, I do have an inverter, but I worry about the batteries dying too. I just like to leave it plugged in so I know the batteries stay full and you don't have to worry about it. So as you guys see there, it's pretty pricey to get involved into the desert. Again, depending on which setup you want. Obviously you can go, you know, truck and dirt bike can be good, or you want to go truck, toy hauler, and side by side. It gets, you know, the price gets up there. It jumps real quick and real fast. And obviously, you're going to get a truck, you're going to get a toy hauler, you're going to get a side by side. You're going to upgrade it. I guarantee that you're going to want to add something to your Razor or side by side. So the point of the video is, you know, yes, anybody can get involved into the desert. It's just, you know, how much do you want to spend? What do you want to purchase? What toy do you want out there? Do you want side by side? Do you want dirt bike? You know? And hopefully you stay in that hobby because, well, number one, it's a really fun hobby. I love it. I enjoy it. But it does get a little pricey and a little bit expensive. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to click subscribe. Peace.
Yeah.